Member for Murray-Alta.
Thank you, sir. My question is to the Treasurer. What contingencies has the Treasurer provided from the 2026 calendar year onwards for the delivery of universal access for 3-year-olds in preschool? And with your leave and that of the House, I'll explain.
Leave is sought. Is leave granted? Member for Murray-Alta.
Thank you, sir. In the budget passed, there was $2 million in the budget for the Royal Commission into early childhood and related matters. There was no extra money for preschool. Julia Gillard, in the media last week, or earlier this week, has confirmed that one of the outcomes of the Royal Commission will be a cost identifications for the delivery of 3-year-old preschool from the year 2026.
Treasurer.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I thank the member for Murray-Alta for his question. They say a good opposition makes a good government. It seems in this case a good government makes a good opposition, Mr Speaker. Finally, we're getting some questions from the Deputy Leader, the death knell of the parliamentary sitting week, Mr Speaker, after some goading about not asking questions in his portfolio area for many parliamentary sitting weeks. The answer, had the member for Murray-Alta listened to any proceedings of the estimates processes in all of the years that he's been in Parliament, would be consistent, and that is the government of the day, of course, doesn't reveal its contingencies. It outlines for the current financial year in the budget papers allocations in general terms for employee expenses, for infrastructure expenses and supplies and services, but we certainly don't project that, particularly for operating expenses across a 4-year period.
Member for Murray-Alta.
Thank you, sir. My question is to the Minister for Education, Training and Skills. What advice has the Minister for Education, Training and Skills received in relation to the required workforce demand for introducing universal access for 3-year-olds into preschools in 2026?
Minister.
Thank you, Speaker. I thank the member for Murray-Alta for his question, his interest in this. As we stated, I think, from the outset, in fact, when we first announced this government's intention to have a Royal Commission into the delivery of universal preschool for 3-year-olds back, I think it was on the 21st of October last year. We knew what some of the challenges in the delivery would be around physical capacity to make sure we can accommodate those 3-year-olds who we know will take up this fantastic opportunity, and then, of course, building on the existing workforce to make sure we have that workforce there in place for the rollout. Now, as the Treasurer said, Mr Speaker, in the answer to the Deputy Leader's last question, these are some of the key questions and things that the Honourable Ms Gillard, the Royal Commissioner, will be looking at. Now, the other day when this was mentioned, I heard many opposite Mr Speaker yelling out, "Why don't you just do it? Why do you need a Royal Commission? Why don't you just do it?" Well, the question that the Deputy Leader just asked is a fantastic example of why we need a Royal Commission, to make sure we get it right, to make sure we look at these challenges. We get one chance to do this properly, and we are going to do it properly. And this is a government that will deliver its election commitments, including this one.
Member for Murray-Alta.
My question is to the Minister for Education, Training and Skills. Does the Minister consider the delivery of universal access for all South Australian 3-year-olds in 2026 to be the fulfilment of the election commitment, or does the Minister consider to be the Royal Commission the fulfilment of the election commitment?
Minister.
Well, thank you, Speaker. I thank the Deputy Leader for his question again. Let me make this abundantly clear, and it's something that the Premier reminds all his ministers of almost on a daily basis. This is a government that will deliver the election commitments it made before the election, and we have not moved 1 millimetre from what we committed before the election on the delivery of universal preschool for 3-year-olds, and that is what we will deliver.